Good afternoon, everyone. We were having fun at Halogen. This is my second visit to a Halogen event, and I tell you what, it's always extraordinary. So I hope you're all having a fantastic time. Quick question for all of you, though. If any of you had the chance to go into space, who would do it? Yeah? Cool. How many of you, if you had the chance to go to the moon, would put your hand up to do it? Yeah? What about Mars? What if you couldn't come back? There's a few. That's good. It's always nice to see a few, and it always grows. There's always a few more people who kind of go, yeah, I'd go. I'm sick of Miss Fisher in year 7. Yeah, I'd go. Let's go to Mars. If it all goes according to plan, I am going to be living there in about 11 years' time. This is a mock vision of essentially our colony that will hopefully be living on Mars. Things will change a little bit. Things will shift around. You can see the solar panels down the front there, all that sort of thing, all renewable energy, all very green, all very hipster. It'll be fun. It'll be a lot of fun. And that's essentially the plan. That's what we're aiming to achieve. But we've got small steps to get there. So you don't just put 4 people on the surface of Mars and leave them there. That doesn't just happen overnight. We're talking about an 11-year plan before anyone launches. Launch for us will be at September 2026. It takes 7 months to get there. So this is a long-term project, and the way that you do a long-term project, you do it in steps. Now, this is quite clearly not Mars. There's blue skies, green plants, oxygen, fun, nice little things. This is a mock colony that we'll be building probably in somewhere like Iceland or Dubai, and essentially testing people out to see how they work in a mock Mars habitat. The first thing we've got to do is get the people right. You start right down at the basics. Before you worry about technology or any of that sort of stuff, you have a plan as to what you're going to do, and then you get the right people on board to do it right from the start. And this is what this is all about. It's all about finding the right people, shoving them in there for 3 months at a time, seeing if they go crazy, see if anyone stabs anyone else. And you guys will get to watch it on TV if they do. We are turning this into a reality TV show, just in case. This is Big Brother in space. It's horrifying, but it's going to raise a lot of money anyway. The next step for us beyond that, once we start getting the crews right, the selection phase for us, as was introduced before, there's 100 of us still in the running. They're going to cut that group down to roughly 24 people, and they're going to become full-time employees. Once that happens, we start that 10 years worth of training. And that all happens in September next year. A couple of years after that, we're going to be sending this little guy to Mars. Now, this is a probe that's modelled on NASA's 2008 Phoenix lander. It will be landing somewhere about 40 to 45 degrees north of the Martian equator in an area where we think there's going to be a lot of water. As you've probably seen on the news, they've discovered recently, like there's flowing water on Mars. It might be loaded with perchlorates, which is rocket fuel. But you can actually filter that out and you can use the water on board. So this little guy is going to be landing where we want to try and land our future colony, sampling the water. If you look really closely on the back there, you can see a little arm, a little scoopy thing on the back. That's for scooping up the soil, putting it into a little oven and seeing what kind of water comes out of it, and testing that we've got the right amount of water. You have to land in the right place. There's no point sending an entire colony and having it land in the wrong place. If we land in the right spot, this little lander then becomes our beacon. We start sending supplies, we start sending things. Essentially, the idea is to send a fully functioning colony built by robots, pushed around, laying out solar panels, all this sort of stuff completely remotely. So there's no humans on Mars. We're sending all of this equipment ahead of us and setting things up step by step, getting the small stuff right and making sure everything's ready before we start risking people.